Well, hello, Koti sir. Good evening, and stage is all yours.
Thank you, Satyaji. Thank you. So let me see if I can share my screen. See if this you guys can see the screen. So can you guys see the screen?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. You guys can also hear my voice, okay, right?
yes,
Is it
all good.
perfect? So, friends, whenever we talk about the reincarnation, right? People are afraid of the concept. It talks about the death, karma, all those kinds of things. So, especially when we talk about the reincarnation, um, many people fear about the death, and it is nothing to fear about this. It is about the hope, responsibility, and growth. Every experience that we have has a meaning. Every relationship that we carry teaches us something. Every challenge that carry with us shares some wisdom with us. And soul is moving from separation to the remembrance. So when we remember things, I think that is when the actual progress begins. When you learn lessons from your experiences, from your challenges, from your relationships, that is when I think we grow spiritually. So life does not start from zero. Whenever we talk about the I think reincarnation, even the Bhagavad Gita says that the life has to go on where you stopped from the previous life. So life continues until the soul learns. That is the goal. And we grow and return continuously to the source. So, what is the source? Where did we come from? Let us know and dive a bit deeper into that and see where we go from here. Okay, so when we go into the details, I think I am in the last slide. Sorry, this is the first slide. Sorry, I was not paying attention which slide we are in. Okay, so when we talk about I think the higher self. You guys might have heard about the higher self, and you guys might have heard about the under self, which is ourselves, the soul, right? The Mundakopanishad talks about the two birds. The first bird is simply sitting and watching, while the second bird is eating the fruits. That is the gist of the story that we all know about, right? So the the bird which is sitting and observing is nothing but our higher self. The higher self observes us all the time and takes the experiences that we gain. And once we leave the soul, we reach to our higher self. And just like the picture that you are seeing, the higher self is expanded soul consciousness. It is a complete soul. The under self is what we are. We go through some experiences through the body, mind, emotions, and personality. These are the different traits that we carry with us, and we learn the lessons through these worldly experiences. And there is a separation between our higher self and ourselves. The separation is created for the higher self to know itself. So, unless you separate yourself from something, you don't know the depth of it. Let's say you want to see how the earth looks like. You have to separate yourself. You have to go into the sky or into the space and observe how the earth looks like. That then only you will be able to see whether the earth is flat or round, or how the earth is moving, whether it is rotating, all those attributes and characteristics. Similarly, the higher self has separated itself, which is what we are, to know, to learn about things. Okay, so this separation is not real separation, but it's an experience to individuality of learning things. The soul forgets that original unity. We always forget that someone is taking care of us all the time. So the soul forgets the original unity, and we kind of fear for the unnecessary causes like the death and all. When we talk about them, I think that is when we get kind of scared, or the fear factor comes in. So let's understand what this concept is. I think telling is easy, experiencing is difficult, right? Let's talk about the purpose of life, purpose of the soul, where it is coming from, why it is coming from. Okay. So when we talk about the soul comes to this earth for experiences. That's all we know. Okay. Um, so what does the soul experience? The soul experience the contrast, the relationships, the choices, the challenges, love, loss, responsibility, compassion, wisdom. I think these are majority of the things that we kind of experience. And once we gain insights into each one of those, I think that is when we move on to the next level in our spiritual growth. Okay, every living being on this earth will have to go through these emotions. There is no exception. Whether it is a plant, whether it is a bird, whether it is an animal, whether it is a human being, every living creature has to go through this experience. Um, and this is represented not just for humans, but for everything, including the plants. So the plant starts from a seed and goes into an infant state, then the adult state, and all that stuff. From an easy point of view, we can take ourselves, human beings, right? We were baby at some point of time, we became an infant, then we became a child, then we became a youth, then we became an adult, and then finally the person grows older, right? This is the cycle chain. During this whole thing, at each state, we have different experiences. As a child, you have a different experience. As an infant, you have different experience. As a youth, you have different experience. So the maturity level also grows along with these stages that we carry on. Okay, so we notice these patterns in everyday living. Okay, so each baby has its own experiences. No two babies have the same experience. Some babies may have abundant love, while the different baby has, I think, has to go through tough situations. Take an example of a lion cub in the zoo, um, with the lion cub in the wild forest. Both of them have different experiences. The lion cub in the zoo don't have to work hard. Its mom also doesn't teach the lion cub with lot of protecting skills or anything. But while in the wildlife, the mother teaches the cub how to survive, how to protect, how to take care of itself, many things, right? The environment makes it more I think, competitive at that point. The tree actually, the seed is hidden inside the fruit. But when you nurture the seed, when you put the seed into the soil, when you give them water, sunlight, and enough time and nurture them, the seed turns into a big tree, right? Similarly, I think we have all kinds of traits. Even the fruits, if you look at the fruit, when the fruit is like a baby, it is like really bitter. When the fruit is like, you know, a little bit youth, for example, mango. If you take the mango, when the mango is very, very tiny, small, fruit, we don't even, uh, we can't even eat that. Okay, so when the mango becomes a little bigger, I think that is when we use those mangoes for making our, chutneys and all that stuff. Now, the same mango, when it is ripe, right, we kind of take the juice from it, we kind of use it for a different purpose. So, and when the mango is, grown too old, then it falls down on the ground by itself and it decays. So every part of the life, we learn something. We have different experiences with it. Okay, so when we go into the water cycle, for example, the continuity, this water cycle actually explains us a lot of things about the reincarnation. Okay, so when when we talk about the reincarnation, it is not about the same name, same face, same personality when we come back. We come with a different identity altogether. It is all about the unfinished lessons that we need to continue learning. When the soul has not fully learned the patience, compassion, forgiveness, courage, non attachment, or self love, we get another opportunity to learn all those things. And that opportunity is nothing but it comes in the fashion of the reincarnation. Let's take the analogy of a water cycle, for example. Let's say there are two sources of water that gets converted into the clouds. One is from the ocean, where the water is very salty, but due to the summer season or the overheat, the water becomes vapor. Then the next one is from a drainage canal. Let's say the same drainage canal, the sewer canal, um, the water gets exhausted from that. Okay, so when the water vapor turns into the clouds from both of these sources, one is too salty, one is too murky. So, if you look at both of these sources, they don't carry any ingredients with them. Either the vapor is from the ocean or the drainage. The vapor that goes leaves all impurities behind. Okay, it when it evaporates, everything is left behind except the essence. Okay, so in a nutshell, there is no difference between a drainage water and a sea water or a lake water, pure lake water. There is no difference for the universe. The vapor which gets into the cloud is pure in nature. So, what does this tell us? This tells us that everything that we carry in this life is not taken with us. Only the essence, the experiences, the wisdom turns into virtues, and those are the ones that we take with us. Okay? Our name, our possessions, body, assets, everything is left off here. Only the essential part is taken forward. And that's the reason I think there is a Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad, I think, especially gives us five stages in, the reincarnation. First one is heavenly realm. Then the second one is it converts into the rain. Then the third one is the earth. The soul comes to this earth in the form of food. Then we consume, or an animal consumes. The energy goes into the specific person or animal or whatever, and then the baby gets produced. So these are the five different stages that the Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad kinds of mentions it. Okay, so moving on, I think we know that when we talk about karma, right? Some people have a feeling that karma is a punishment, but karma is not a punishment. Also, some people have a strong feel that whatever karma that we brought in has to be experienced completely. The truth is, karma is given to us for learning the lesson. Once we learn the lesson, we don't have to go through that complete experience anymore. So that is the reason wisdom is very, very important. The universe is not sitting like a judge here, folks. That is what we need to learn here. The universe is not here to punish us. It is more or less like a school where we go there, we learn the lessons that we could not finish properly, we would have to go through them again, we would have to repeat them, and we would have to understand those. If a person keeps reacting with an anger, for example, anger is a one of the traits, one of the major issues that we all have. When someone scolds us, um, the anger situation, until we learn how to handle this anger, the situation keeps repeating for us, and it keeps testing our patience. You will find all kinds of clients that are coming you with annoying face. They will be aggravating you. They will be troubling you. They will be making you learn the patience with the anger. The goal there is not to suffer. The goal there is to master how to react, how to control your emotion of that anger. Okay? Once you learn that lesson, let's say you brought your karma with five stages of going. First stage is very severe, and the intensity becomes lower and lower as you keep learning things. Or opposite. The first stage is mild, then a little severe, then it is too drastic, then it is the peaks. So you brought in certain loops with you. But you fortunately got in association with people like Satya, and they gave you already a kind of wisdom that, hey, anger is bad for our soul growth. And then they nurtured you, and you already learned that lesson, for example. In the mild stage itself, you got that experience. So you don't have to go through the remaining lessons. You already learned that. So universe gives you those opportunities as well in the form of free will. If you don't want to use that free will, you can go through all the four levels that you brought in. But um, it is not necessary. Once you learn the lesson, you can move on with your next phase of your life. Okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to bring up. We spoke a lot about, what we bring in, why we come here, what is that we are taking with us. Basically, the best way to connect with our higher self, the best way to move and learn and move on with the life, like the previous slide, I was telling you about karma, right? If you are bringing in 5 steps, you can finish that with first step itself. You don't have to repeat the 4 steps. The easiest way to adopt that kind of learning is through the awareness on the breath. And one of the best way is to learn from the Anapanasati meditation that we just did the first 20 minutes. Okay, so our daily life, we go through a lot of noise. We learn a lot of, kind of uncertainties, the job struggles, people like, the Trumps and all those guys we meet every day, right? There is a lot of noise in our daily life. And we face fear, stress, anger, anxiety, success, depression, failure. All these things come up. And what makes us calm down with all that? The meditation makes us calm all that cluttery noise from us. What happens when the things get slowed down? Your soul can connect with your higher intelligence. That is when the actual wisdom kind of sprouts up. And when the actual wisdom sprouts, that is when you know what is the reality, what is the illusion, all those things. Okay, meditation is a medium for you to connect with your higher self. And from your higher self, you get the clarity, the intuitions, all those things you get it. And the way to connect with your higher self, grow spiritually one step forward, is all with a simple, easy step, that is with your breath. Simple step is when your breath slows, your thoughts are slow as well. When the thoughts are slow, your awareness expands. And Anapanasati, which we just did, absolutely makes us go into that state. So these are the 4 levels that you are seeing on the slide here. So one side is the cluttery mind, and then the second side is how the dust settles and the pure water comes out. Okay, so this is just an illustration that you can see here. Okay, so now let's connect all the dots that we kind of discussed so far. We separated from our higher self to experience things, and we brought karma with us as a curriculum to learn the lessons. And when you are able to finish the lesson, you move on to the next lesson. It is like a Harry Potter book. So there are series of books that you have to read. You finish one book, you move on to the second book, third book, fourth book. You keep moving to the series. You switch on the Netflix docu-series. I think you keep on watching episode by episode. Similarly, our life also is designed in such a way that you go through chapter by chapter. Okay, so that is one thing. The higher self sends us to learn the lessons. For example, anger is one of the things that we took. The anger, you have to experience that from 360 degrees point of view. That means you are angry all the time, or somebody else is always angry with you, or you are in a situation where everyone else around you are angry, or you are in that situation where everyone is distressed, but they show the distress on you. So these are the environments that we are surrounded with. Unless you learn all the angles of it, your lesson is not complete. And for each flavor, we may have to take a different birth, different reincarnation to make sure that our lessons are complete. What do we learn from it? We learn the awareness. We learn to be conscious all the time. And the awareness and consciousness burns the old karma and it accelerates the spiritual growth. It propels your spiritual growth. Just like what we have seen, I think in the earlier slide, you have a seed, then it becomes a small plant, then it becomes a little bigger plant, then it becomes a tree, right? This is a normal cycle. You plant them and then nurture them over a period of time, like 3 years, 5 years, the seed becomes a tree. But on the other hand, what you can do is you can directly buy a tree and plant it in your house. When you go to a Home Depot, you see different types of trees. If you pay like $50 to $75, you get a big tree. That you can bring it directly and put it into your house. You don't have to grow from seed. And that is what exactly this meditation does. The meditation is like a fast path. It is like I think you can speed up, you can propel your progress towards the life. Okay, so that is what our thing is. And of course, this is just a, I think, concluding slide where we are saying that reincarnation is not about the fear, it's a journey. The life continues from one step to the different step. The soul is moving from separation to remembrance, and then it is getting united back with your higher self. Every time we leave this body, we take our experiences, our virtues, the talents that we learned, the experiences that we gained, all of these we take it to our higher self. We kind of console and reconcile them with our oneness. Okay, so long story short, the life doesn't start from zero. The life goes from one step to a different step. Let's say your lesson has 5 topics. If you completed two topics in this life, the remaining 3 topics you will complete in the next life. You won't begin from zero. Again, the first 2 lessons. You start from where you stopped. That is where the reincarnation is about. It is a pretty high level. I think there is a lot more to the reincarnation, but I just wanted to give you a high level overview of where it is, how things work there, and all that stuff. So, with that said, I think we can open up the floor for more questions, folks.